Hi everybody, Scott here with my 2017 Appalachian Trail thru-hike gear that I'll be taking with me. All in all, this is about 16 pounds of gear without food and water. With food and water, you're talking about 25 pounds to 26 pounds. I'm going to start off by just discussing the clothes that I'm going to be taking, give you a little idea of what they're for, why I'm taking them, and then we'll move on to the actual gear. So to start off, I've got ex officio underwear up here. I've got two pair of those, one to switch in and out of, one for camp underwear. Obviously when you're doing laundry and whatnot. I've got two pair of darn tough socks. I've got both a calf size and then an ankle size. My thought is when it gets warmer I'll probably wear more of the ankle size. I've got two pair of engine liners just to be able to switch in and out when it rains. I'm going to start out with a Patagonia Capilene long sleeve shirt and Columbia zip off pants. It's going to be cooler when I get out there, if I get out there before the end of April hopefully. And then that'll allow me to switch in and out of this Capilene t-shirt once it gets warmer out and kind of use the long sleeve shirt for a camp shirt. I also have a pair of New Balance shorts. They're running shorts. Some Hawkeye thermal socks or camp socks. Some Patagonia lightweight thermal long johns. Just for when it gets cold and windy out there, I can throw them on under my pants, or for when I'm sleeping, I can throw them on before I go to bed to stay warm. For buffs and whatnot, I'm taking a Team Must-Have, my Rag Bright team, do-rag that we got last year, just a regular blue bandana, and then an Iowa Hawkeye buff that I have. I'm also going to take, actually this is probably an extra item that I'm taking, which is just a REI fleece. I just feel more comfortable hiking in that, so if I get hot, this will actually keep me warm, even if I'm hot and sweaty. I do have a puffy coat. I have the Mountain Hardwear Whisper, Ghost Whisper, love this coat. I don't like hiking it as much as I do a fleece, so this will be more for camp and keeping warm around camp. Some other items that I have here, I have an old Under Armour balaclava, Z-Packs fleece hat, and some biking gloves that I use to keep warm that I'll take with me to help keep my hands warm. Hyperlight mountain gear pod to store my camp clothes in. I also have some Zero camp shoes. A lot of people use Crocs. I'm not a big fan of Crocs, and I don't like flip-flops where you have to stick something in your toes. So I actually found these. They're a little expensive, but they're really nice. They've got a back strap on them, and you can strap them on just like Crocs if you have to cross a creek. They also fold up, and you can they take up really little space. These are called Zero shoes. Rain gear. So I've got Outdoor Research helium rain gear. I got both pants and coat. I'm going to probably send the coat or the pants back. Once it starts getting warm, there's no need to hike in rain pants. I have my pants and my long underwear if I get cold. These really just, I mean, everyone says that rain gear doesn't breathe, and that's probably more the case. The coat, I may send back as well. I may just go with a cheap poncho, or I actually have a Z-Packs poncho and ground liner that I have here that I could have somebody send out to me if I get to that point. So that's really all the clothes that I'm taking. For the most part, I should be able to layer up and stay warm. I don't see any need for anything else to take with me. So as for the other gear that I do have a little Nike day bag, little strap bag that I'm going to take. I have my Lecky poles. So these are actually DSS cork lights. You don't see these much, and I don't know if they're just new or not, but instead of the old anti-shock up in the shaft, these have the new DSS shocks down here, and they're the flip locks. On here I put actually a camera mount. It's a Gorilla mount that I ordered, so I'll be able to put my camera on here, as well as, you know, for me, and I'll show you when I get to my pack, I'm actually going to strap my camera on my chest strap so that I can have quick access to get recording, just one-touch recording on anything that happens. A lot of people talk about how it's hard to get your camera out fast enough, so I'll have my GoPro right there, be able to take those. So on my Leckies, I have actually some electrical tape, some duct tape, and some PT tape to help for blisters if anything happens with those. Thermarest Z-Seat, pretty common for everyone. I'm actually taking a Pezzo Reactic light. It's a rechargeable light, so it saves on me carrying weight for batteries. All I need is the ability to charge it, which I have with my Anchor. Up here you'll see all my electronics. I've got a life-proof case. I got an Anchor 10,000 milliamp charger that should be able to charge my phone, my watch, my headlamp, And those are the main things that I'm going to be needing charges. I do have a speaker on here. I don't plan on using it much, but I'm going to take it. It's a waterproof speaker, so I can charge that if I need to. Just different cables and whatnot. I'm going to be storing that in an Osprey 3-liter little waterproof bag. Here's my clip that'll actually go on my shoulder strap. So it'll strap here. My camera fits here, and it takes perfect pictures. Can't see the camera, obviously. I'm using it. Got a little pocket knife that I'm going to take with me. Some medical items. I'm taking some Perel, obviously. In here I've got some anti-friction stuff, so I can use that. My pill bottle, which has a little bit of everything from Excedrin, Aleve to Advil. Some more blister and some just Burt's Bees lip balm. Other personal medical things, earplugs, toothpaste, toothbrush, some alcohol wipes. I also have floss and needles that will take the floss if I need to sew anything up, toothbrush, clippers, and some tweezers. For the bathroom bag, I've got a little camp towel. I've got soaps. So obviously you don't want to use the soaps around the water source. So the thought is you know, when you get away, you can take these little tablets or these little sheets and at least get your hands clean. Make sure you keep away from viruses, you know, getting sick from all that. I got some dried out wet wipes if I need it, and some toilet paper or paper towels. These are Viva paper towels that are softer. And then just some other miscellaneous items. This is some Permathin, some Neosporin, some super glue, and then my medical cards. So for sleeping, first of all, the tent that I'm using is a Big Agnes Fly Creek. It's a 2-person tent, plenty of room. It's fairly easy to set up. I'm also going to use the Neolite Thermarest for the pad that I use. I did have to get a pillow just because from a neck standpoint, I want to make sure my neck's comfortable. This is a nice little pillow. It's a cocoon. It blows up just like the pad. You have a warm side. You have a slick side. It allows you, it has a little bit of fiber inside of it instead of just an all air pillow like the Sea to Summits. So it's more real feeling. And then for sleeping, I've got a Sea to Summit sheet, silk sheet, and my Enlightened Equipment 20-degree Revolution bag. So those are my sleeping. That's what I'm going to use to sleep with while I'm out on the trail. That's plenty warm. I used it this winter when we were out ice fishing, and we were in a hotel, but I was under the open window, and I was warm. I was actually sweating. Some other miscellaneous. I do have some gaiters and just a head net that I'll be taking. I don't know if I'll ever use them. I may send them back home. So that's kind of the gear standpoint. Just from a cook system. So up here you'll see I have a pouch with my Sea to Summit titanium fork. Sea to Summit titanium fork. And a Big Sky International pouch. A lot of people make their own. I saw these are fairly cheap. I just ordered one. It just makes it easier. Plus it folds up a little bit better than the homemade ones. I'll be using the Evernew titanium 600 milliliter pot up there. I'm going to go with just the canister stoves, Snow Peak Ultralight, a scrub pad there. So that's kind of my cook system. Waters, I'm going to take actually a Smart bottle water, not the big one like this, but I just happen to have this one here. And then a Powerade bottle, because I'm going to plan on using Carnation Instant Breakfast sometimes for breakfast. It's a little easier to dump those in there, throw some whey protein in there. Water filtration, so I'm going to use Sawyer. Obviously, I've also got a Platypus 2-liter that I can take with me to be able to store water. So if the water source is away from the campsite, I can store water for the next morning, but also just be able to store it anytime I want. I also have Aquamira little liquids that I can put into my water source. So I have 2 ways to filter water if need be. Finally, my food bag. I've got Z-Pac's Bear Bag. So it's actually got food in it. I've been just playing around with the weight. So this is about 8 pounds of food. So that will be going with me. And then my pack, final thing here is Hyperlight Mountain Gear 3400 Windrider. I'm going to use a contractor bag for a liner. But this pack's, I've added a couple things to it. I've added some Z-Pack shoulder straps to help carry things. I've also just got some carabiners, some binder clips, a little light that I add to it, and some extra like safety pins and stuff. So this pack is less than 2 pounds altogether. It's well big enough to carry all my stuff. Just thinking ahead, the reason I got the pack, you know, if I ever want to go out and do a PCT or do another longer hike where I need to carry more gear, I have the ability to do that with the pack. So, like I said, that's all my gear that I'm taking. Total, it's about 26 pounds. It should get me through the entire 6 months, and I can't wait to get out there.